Hey there, this is Ashlie Woods of ashliewoods.com, and I wanted to hop on here for a second and talk to you about the start of a new year. So if you're anything like me, and I think most people, right, they come into the end of a year and into the winter, and it naturally brings about a time of reflection. We're looking back as we complete the year at what got accomplished, what didn't, what really worked, what went well, what didn't turn out the way we had hoped it would. Everybody's kind of taking inventory, right? Taking stock at the end of the year. And then we're looking ahead as the new year opens up this blank slate, this fresh start. And I start to look at, what do I want this next year to be about? And you're probably doing the same thing too. Completing on the last year, celebrating it, acknowledging it, and then looking forward. What do you want more of? What is the next year going to hold for you? So I began the practice of choosing a word back in the winter of 2013. I heard about it through an artist named Kelly Ray Roberts. And she was working with a woman named Ashlie Edwards. And for all I know, Ashlie might have started this whole thing. She's trademarked one little word. She has a whole little offering kind of program that she does along with it. In fact, I'll share the link with you because it's really great if you've never done something like that. She gives you prompts and things to help expand upon your word throughout the year. So it's really beautiful, beautiful practice. And so I began then. 2014 was the first year that I chose a word. And I've stayed with the practice every year since. And I've really just looked to, I choose a word by asking myself, what do I want more of in the coming year? Or who do I want to be? How do I want to be more of, I should say. So I think the first year I chose a word, my word was dare. And it was perfect because I knew that the future I was wanting to create in the upcoming year was going to require that I be more bold and more daring than I had been before. And so I chose dare as my guiding word that year. I think the next year my word was give. And I really wanted to be looking at, how can I give my gifts? You know, what I'm good at and what I love, how can I give that more freely and without attachment? And it was great. It opened up this whole exploration around what it actually means to give without expecting anything, to give with a generous heart. It was beautiful. I've had the word magic. I've had the word alignment. And they've all been fantastic. And this last year, so of 2018, I actually chose a phrase because I was playing with the different words and there was nothing that just completely nailed it for me. But when I ran across this phrase, it was like, oh yeah, okay, that's it for me this year. So my guiding phrase for the past year has been, I embody radical trust. So I knew that the growing edge for me was to be even more trusting of my own intuition, trusting of life itself, trusting spirit to guide me. And I really wanted to embody that trust in a big, radical way, right? So for me, that looked like, so what was happening in the past was that I would tune in and sort of ask my own intuition for guidance. And I would have a sense of what that was. So I'd get an answer. I'd have a knowing. And instead of just moving on it, I would deliberate and a little second guess or look to find reasons to support why it was a good idea. And I wanted to move from receiving guidance and deliberating and trying to understand it and explain it before I moved to receiving the guidance and moving. Guidance, move. And if there wasn't guidance, waiting. But when there was, radically trusting it and doing so in a very demonstrative way. So I was completely inspired by that phrase, and it's been guiding me all year long. And it's been amazing. I have embodied more trust this year. Have the knowing and move. Have the knowing and move. And yeah, it's been incredible. The not needing to second guess or explain myself has enabled me to have more velocity and more momentum. Right? I don't always need to understand it. My inner knowing's telling me something, and it may even be crazy sounding or not necessarily make sense. But I know what it feels like for me when I'm aligned and I'm receiving guidance, when my intuition is leading. And so learning to just trust that without question has been such a beautiful practice. So this year I'm playing around with what's going to be my word or my phrase or whatever else might come to me and inspire me. And the thing I love about that too is, there's a practice of resolutions that's long-standing, and I have nothing against resolutions. I think they're fantastic. Setting goals or resolutions for the year. But they tend to point to more of what we're going to do, actions we're going to take. And at the heart of it all is, who are we going to be? Right? If we shift who we're being, then we'll naturally take different actions. So I like that the word or the phrase keeps us anchored in who we're going to be. And then what we do is a fallout of that. So I'm playing around with things this year, and I haven't completely settled on something, but I'm toying with an idea. I'll share at some point. And if you're interested in choosing a word or a phrase for the year, here's a couple of things that I would recommend. Look back over 2018 and just notice what there is to celebrate. So maybe you just put celebrations on the top of a page and you brain dump everything and anything that you can think to celebrate from 2018. And really have some appreciation for what the year provided for you and what life provided for you. And then begin to look at, what would you love to have more of in the coming year? What do you feel ready to now invite in? Given where you are, what you've learned, the place in your life that you currently find yourself, what do you want more of? Do you need grace? Would it be nice to have courage, patience? Perhaps the thing that's calling to you is laughter, playfulness. And begin to make a list and just dump any word or phrase that really speaks to your heart, and begin trying them on, kind of playing with them, and let them marinate a little bit. And as you're in that inquiry of what you want to invite in, something will begin to really sing to you, or it might even find you, right? So as I've been playing with it, I'm doing a lot of personal work right now around the model of the Enneagram. And it was in a reading of that and an exploration kind of in this field of study that I'm in, when I received the phrase, I have enough. And it completely spoke to something really deep in me. Like, to come from a place of having enough, right? And it's a little different than being enough. Like, I am enough, which is beautiful too. But part of what I'm growing in is this sort of compulsion that I often have to learn more, do more. I'm very hungry for life, right? I've just always had a completely inherent zest for life. It's part of my personality to want to experience all the things and do the things and taste the things. And it's very insatiable in a way. And while that's a beautiful thing that I absolutely love and celebrate about myself, it also has its shadow that sometimes feels like I can't have enough, right? There's so much I want to learn and I don't have enough time. I just want to like drink it all in. And so to really remind myself I have enough. If I never learned another thing, took another class, went to another country, tasted another, it's like I have enough right now to be completely satisfied and fulfilled. And that thought brings a lot of ease and peace to my heart and my life. So I'm playing with that as a phrase. What if I came from I have enough all year long? Then what might happen? What might be possible? How might I grow? How might my life have greater depth and appreciation? And yeah, what might that be like? So we'll see. I'll play with it, try it on, and then by the time the new year rolls around, I'll have settled on something, and it'll undoubtedly be useful and inspiring for the year to come. All right, I hope that's helpful to you. If you choose a word or a phrase, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you decide on.